Then you spoke with Mr. McGundle, correct? He asked me a bunch of questions. Stuff like what my name was and why I was hiding. Then I heard a bloke's voice coming from the omnibus, or from above the omnibus. That would have been the two men seated on the roof, wouldn't it? I didn't want them to see me face, so I didn't look up at him. Then when the coach stopped, the old geezer pointed at the seat and said, "Quickly, hide in here. I'll help you get away." Interesting. Moments ago, all 6 jurors were in agreement over a not guilty verdict. Only for a single instant, though. Perhaps, but there's no denying that their feelings are shifting. So if we can just find a decisive clue in this testimony, then this time we'll win our not guilty verdict for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. And yet, something's really bugging me. I just can't quite put my finger on what it is. Okay, so we've already pressed all of these. Pitch black in my little eyes thought she couldn't see nothing. So you didn't get a good look at the scene of the omnibus then? So like normally I push up the cushion, push up the cushion with my head. Then I'd scope out my prey in secrecy. Nothing seems new. The cushion on the seat I hid myself in is harder than the one on the opposite side, or opposite end. Thanks to that, not a lot of people choose to sit on it, know what I mean? But that night, this bloke here just sat right on the seat throughout the whole ride. So because of that, you couldn't see inside the coach, right? To be frank... Oh! What the fuck was that? What is that there? In the dark spaces, they make me feel all claustrophobic, like, why is he giggling? Question! Chotto! May I ask you a question, Mr. McGundle? Ah, I beg your pardon. What is it, my good barrister? Do you recall the events as Miss Lestrade described in her testimony? You appear to have been lost in thought. Ah, no. While I was listening to her, I was struck by what a horrible sight it must have been for the poor girl. In truth, I too have these memories in my youth. I was afraid of the dark. Well, everyone was afraid of the dark once. I'm still afraid of the dark, though. At that time, to make up for my lack of vision, I would focus my hearing, so that no sound would elude me. Okay. Now that I think of it, I might have been listening carefully too. Then that means... Could you have heard something? Did you hear any strange noises? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the sound of the old geezer's conch blowing off. Wait, what? Well, it would seem I've done a terrible misdeed to this sweet young lady. Ooh, that's a shame. If only she had heard something strange. It could have been a helpful clue. Yeah, it really could have. Was anything wrong with Gina's testimony just now? I'm gonna say it's important. It usually is. My lord. Miss Lestrange's testimony just now is incredibly important. Important? But according to the witness's earlier remarks, she didn't hear a single thing. And that is exactly what is so important. That's right, it might be important. It isn't, it might be. I can say that I understand this black-clad Asian attorney's train of thought. I can't say. God. By the way, witness, Gina Lestrade, please append your latest remark to your testimony. Append? What do you mean, like? Don't be using hard words on me. I won't get what you're trying to say. Good grief. Ah, that's what she meant. Okay. So I listened to what was going on the out. All I could hear was snoring. So the whole time after getting in the coach, you were listening to everything. Well, I don't know if I'd say the whole time. Huh? When I first got in the trunk, there was nobody else around. So I lifted up the cushion and looked around the coach from there. When I saw that geezer get in the coach, I sank back into the trunk. Then Mr. McGonagall sat down on top of your head. Uh-huh. What a blooming tart, right? Then I just spent the whole time listening to whatever I could. I was planning on skedaddling as soon as I heard the bloke get off. But though the coach kept stopping starting over and over, I ain't ever heard the door open once. All I could hear was the sound of the old geezer's conch blowing off. Okay. There's something about Gina's testimony just now. Contradiction! She said she didn't hear anything, but that's not true. Miss Lestrade, your testimony just now. It contains a glaring contradiction. What? What's a contradiction? A contradiction? My word. Indeed. It would appear even our Asian exchange student has noticed that much. Prosecutor Van Zieks, did he notice it as well? Oh, pardon me. Defense? Request that you present evidence or that you name a suspect. Oh, I can't stop hiccuping. Yes, my lord. Now reveal to us this contradiction you've discovered. That night when Gina was hiding in the omnibus, she says she heard nothing other than Mr. McGonagall's snoring. However, there was something else that could have produced an audible noise. The person! Yeah, Mortar when he fell to the floor. The defense will present its thoughts on the matter. Ooh, nice slam. That night, Miss Lestrade heard something inside the omnibus. It would have been very strange if you didn't hear something related to this person. There we go. Thrice fired a mortar. Lived in the East End. Despite his skill as a brickmason, it seemed that he owed the defendant a large sum of money. Ooh dear. Thrice fired mortar? That's right, the sound that she should have heard was the sound of the victim entering the omnibus. Oh, not the thud. Well, yeah, that too. Oh, whatever. I was right with the person. Just wrong with, where I went. Order, order. Attorney, what is the meaning of this? She did say she didn't hear the door open once, but I just kind of glanced over that, I guess. Mr. Lestrade, there's something I want to confirm with you. You were the first one to enter the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, I was already on board while the coachman was having a munch at the pub. But the next person who boarded was Mr. McGonagall, right? Yes, when I boarded, there was nobody inside the coach. At least, nobody that I could see. And nobody else boarded with you. Is that right, Mr. McGonagall? That's correct. I make a habit of riding the bus alone, you see. Plus, when I peeked out through the cushions, that old geezer was boarding all alone. After that, you say the omnibus stopped several times, but you never heard the sound of the door opening. Yeah, I probably should have picked up on that, but never mind. I got it. I just was incredibly wrong. But yeah, whatever. No mistake so far, right? Right. She doesn't sound so sure of herself. I was on high alert. If that door had opened, I defo wouldn't have missed it. Then explain to me just one thing. When exactly could the victim have boarded the omnibus? Ah. The victim's corpse was found inside the coach after all. In other words, Mr. Lestrade, your testimony is contradictory. You what? You what? Correct, this little pickpocket's testimony holds a major contradiction. Lord Van Zieks. I thought so. The contradiction in her testimony didn't escape the prosecutor, either. Okay, he's giggling. It looks like I owe the defense my thanks. What are you talking about? You've made it all clear now. This witness, and her entire testimony, you can't put stock in any of it. She's just spouting convenient lies. Ooh. Oh shit. Well, you know it's true. The victim had to have boarded the omnibus. There's no other way. She did call herself a pickpocket, of course she's suspicious. Why has she got her hand raised? Uh-oh. Oh no! No! Fuck. That's why her hand was raised. She didn't even say a word. We shouldn't be biased just because she's a little thief. But girls shouldn't lie either. You got that right. Foreman. He's going back. I'm not going to discriminate just because she's a thief. But hey. Damn anyone who would lie. Fuck. We're going to be back at guilty, aren't we? Only needs one more. And it's going to be the maid. Naruhodo. Now 5 of the jurors believe he's guilty. Shit. No, it can't be, because we can't, unless we do another clash. But I doubt it. It appears that those naive little oriental children have saved me a fair bit of effort. Exquisite. Oh dear. Look what you've done. This is all your fault. Whose side are you on, you filthy cheating Japs? Whoa. Jesus. It's like a beautiful rendition of hell. Juror 2 is the only one left. Naruhodo, this doesn't look good. Right now, I need to reveal some new possibility. Or else, they really will reach a guilty verdict. I really wanted to believe in our very own celebrity, Mr. McGundle. But... oh no! Accepting the cruel truths that come with the turn of the century is part of a servant's duty. No! Oh my god. Yes, it's true. There was a major contradiction in her testimony. However, if that testimony still happened to be true, we might find that a new possibility appears. What? Barrister? Oh, what exactly do you mean? Put the hand down, let's not get hasty. Or let's not do anything rash. Defense, we won't let you stand there and try to buy time. We want to know your thoughts immediately. That evening, the victim was not present when our suspect entered the coach. Yet, from that moment onward, this witness claims that the door was never opened. But as the facts tell us, the victim's corpse was on the floor of the coach. If this little pickpocket girl's testimony is somehow true, how could the victim have possibly appeared in the coach? I'll tell you. Maybe. The victim somehow appeared in the coach. One reasonable possibility is... he didn't use the door. The skylight. The skylight could be a possible way of getting in. That's what I'll go with. He didn't use the door. That's the only plausible explanation. Keeping in mind that the door never opened, there's only one possibility. We have to consider that the victim entered not through the door, but somewhere else. Ridiculous. I was beginning to wonder what dark line of logic your desperation might lead you on. Look carefully at the omnibus. On one side of the coach there is a door, on the other side are windows. But those windows could not be opened, therefore, there is no somewhere else he could have entered through. Not true! Ooh, we did our own one-hand slam. I can imagine one possibility at least. What? I can think of one other way, besides the door, that the victim could have appeared from. Oh, we're shocking everybody. Very well. then the court orders the attorney to show us. On the omnibus in which the crime took place, where could the victim possibly have entered the coach? The roof window. Or the skylight. I hope that works. Obviously, he entered through the skylight. Woohoo! The skylight? Bloody hell. I have no words potent enough to rebut that foolish claim. If the skylight was wide enough, it should be possible to drop through it. That's not the point. Do you have any evidence to base your absurd outbursts on? When they were in the omnibus, Mr. McGundle and Miss Lestrade heard a loud noise. Oh! Oh god, was he already dead? And like dumped through the skylight? I never even thought of that. Mr. McGundle and Miss Lestrade heard a loud noise as if a person had fallen. No, my first thought was maybe that was him landing, but no, somebody could have just dumped the body. Well, yes. That must have been the sound of the victim being stabbed and falling to the floor. However, if you fell from your seat to the floor, would that really make such a loud noise? It must have been loud enough to make Miss Lestrade scream after all. You can't be saying... At that moment, the victim appeared from the skylight. No, rather than appeared, what I should say is... he dropped down from the skylight. Oh... You're saying he fell into the coach from above? What nonsense, that's impossible. What makes you so sure? If your claim that he dropped from the skylight is true, then the people seated on the roof of the coach should have witnessed his descent. But as you should know, they did not mention that in their testimonies. That is true, but... Might I interject for a moment? Oh, Mr. McGundle. Certainly what Lord Van Zeeks is saying is true. The two seated on the roof didn't say a word regarding the victim's descent. But if you ask me, it would be inaccurate to say that they did not mention that. You see... Wait, what? I'm very confused. They couldn't mention that. It happened before they were on board? That can't be the truth. It would seem those two gentlemen might have a reason preventing them from speaking the truth. Don't you feel the same way, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Ooh. Then might you be saying the two seated on the roof? Holy shit! Were the ones that used the knife? Ooh. Oh, they're back. I don't know why, but when he said that, it made me think of like a Western accent. What in the hell do you think you're doing? Or like a... What the fuck? Well, this guy's certainly animated. His hat stays on his head too. What was that just now? That's what we want to know. I won't take this lying down. God damn it. As if I even could. We must disagree with this. That's what we mean to convey. Mr. Fairplay. It's as if you're saying that I... or even I... had stabbed the victim with that knife. Like all of your insinuations, it galls me. I firmly object to your accusations. Objection! What the fuck? Yes, your accusations, we object. Why the hell did he become so animated? What the hell happened? Order, order. Order in the court. You're those two witnesses from before, aren't you? The court will not allow unexpected witnesses on the stand. Return to the waiting room. But this is far too cruel. This wounds us deeply. Surely you understand, right? My lord. Might I make a proposal? What is it, Lord Van Zieks? The defense was the side that ignored the rules of the court in the first place. They indicted these witnesses without basis, spitting on the idea of proper procedures. Indicted? I never meant it like that. It seems your English is lacking in practice, Japanese boy. Jeez. The victim dropped down from the skylight. You can't hypothesize that without first positing that the passengers on the roof were involved. Thus, you branded their testimony a lie and came to the conclusion that they're criminals. That is an unjust declaration here in Great Britain. I didn't mean it. My god. There's no evidence to back up this hypothesis. I know this is unreasonable, but I can't stand and watch as it ends here. What are you doing? Let him testify. Ooh. I knew that weird hat was suspicious from the very beginning. We've come this far. There's nothing left to do but settle it. We must dispose of the filth in our society. Testify! 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 Oh my god. This is pretty good. Naruhodo, what in heaven's name is happening? The entire courtroom is hounding for blood. Rooftop witnesses. Yes, sir. The court orders you to testify again. This time, speak regarding the defense's accusation. Alright then. They seem oddly shifty. I didn't mean to. Huh. I wonder if they are actually involved. They must be. There's no more time to think. All I can do now is press on. Huh. Rebuttal to the accusation. There were only two of us on the roof seats, it's true. If an incident happened in a place like that, there's no way it would go unnoticed. I didn't even know the victim in the first damn place. There's no way I would. The skylight was always shut. We weren't able to open it. If the victim fell through the skylight, as you claim, then I demand evidence. I mean, that's a fair testimony, not gonna lie. Indeed, as far as the testimony goes. This sounds like a song from RuneScape. If one of these witnesses had truly committed such an obvious act, I cannot imagine that it would have gone unnoticed by the other witness. Right, that's right, I say. Like I said, we swear that. However, if you two were friends, then it would be a different story. According to Scotland Yard's investigation, there were no signs that these two had been collaborating. Huh, I don't trust the police or the rich. What is this atmosphere? Even though the flow of this trial is advantageous to our side, why do I feel such a sense of unease? Now then, attorney, your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Let's do it. Cross-examination! Rebuttal to the accusations. There are only two of us on the roof seats, it's true. Giotto! The victim, Mr. Mortar, didn't come up to the roof. Right, correct. Indeed. He did not. Okay. No doubt about it. You get it by now. No, that's right, that is... I saw it. What? The victim was inside the coach talking to this man. Is that true, defendant? Dear oh dear. I don't like to have to repeat myself. I was alone in the omnibus. What's more, I was sleeping. Nonsense. I'm sure of it. There was definitely someone. And do you have any evidence of that? Huh? In a modern trial, evidence is everything. There's no harm in remembering that. Curses! Foiled again! I saw it. I know I did. Good grief. If an incident happened in a place like that, there's no way it would go unnoticed. True. It was around 10 o'clock when the incident occurred, on the last trip of the night, correct? Wouldn't it have been dark outside, making it difficult for you both to see very well? No. What are you— No. What he means is, what a stupid thing to say. This guy's super heated. If that's the case, then perhaps you dozed off for a moment instead. Well, that's— well, that's— What a non-statement. No, what are you— That's what he was trying to get at here. They're in cahoots. They've gotta be. How about you go out there on a frigid night yourself and see if you can just doze off? I thought for sure I'd never be able to pry my eyelids apart again. I see. Sounds like it must have been extremely cold outside then. That's right, and this man locked the coach from the inside. Ah. We knocked on the door, but he wouldn't even open it. Wouldn't even open it for us. For that I must express my sincerest apologies. I was sound asleep. I simply didn't even notice. Look at his face! Liar. At the time, you were talking to someone inside the coach. It was quite cold that night. It would not be so strange for you to have seen some sort of illusion. Illusion? It appears pursuing this point will be fruitless. Look at him. It's like... I don't even understand what the hell their animations are supposed to be. If you're going to label me a suspect, then it is only fair to label you both as such, as well. Equal, free competition is the basis of the emerging capitalist society. I don't want to be a part of any such competition. That was only the second statement. I didn't even know the victim in the first damn place. There's no way I would. The victim thrice-fired mortar. Did you never meet him before the incident? Right. Absolutely right. I've absolutely never met him. That's what he's trying to get at. Mr. Lady First, is that true for you as well? Of course, because I'm just a simple hatter. Wait, you made his hat. You definitely made his hat. Look at the fucking hat. Wait, people. Look at it. That's his hat. You can't see my cursor, I keep forgetting. But just know I'm pointing at the hat. Look at his hat, and then look at Lady First's. They're really similar. I'm guessing he made his hat. I don't think that has anything to do with it. In other words, what we're trying to say is... Fuck's sake, it scares me. We are absolutely unrelated to these people. What is that there? What the hell? Oh nice, it's a little portrait. Oh, it's cool. Alright. I guess that's what I'm going for. Mr. McGundle. Oh, excuse me. Mr. McGundle, if I may. Yes, of course, my good barrister. Did that testimony jog your memory about anything? So these two are completely unrelated to this case, hmm? Oh. What are you going on about? Master Fairplay. It's been some time, hasn't it? Huh? You know, I believe it's about that time. Your deadline is fast approaching. That's... Let's see, I believe it was 20 guineas you borrowed from me, correct? That can't be legal. Such outrageous interest rates. You deceived me. So one might safely say you're harbouring some resentful feelings towards me, yes? So much so that you might have such a motive to cast your own sins upon me. Oh. And then we have you, Master Ladyfirst. Me? What about me? You are a milliner, a crafter of hats. Did you perchance also make that very fine silk hat you've got there? Huh? Well, I'm still in training, you see. I take the customer's measurements and make a hat that fits them just right. It fits them just right. That seems a bit too personalised, doesn't it? But we have customers who say they really like such personalisation. For instance, the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mortar? What? Just a while ago, I saw that a photo of the crime scene was submitted into evidence, but... Yes, would this be the one? This is a very unique silk hat. I can't help but feel as though I've seen it somewhere before. Ah. I made this. Our bricklaying victim seems to have been a customer of yours. And I would wager there had been some manner of dispute over that unique hat. Huh? No way, I never. In short, what I'm trying to say is, you two fine gentlemen are by no means unrelated to the case. And that's all there is to it. Absurd. Feels like he's doing a better job defending himself than I am. Mr. McGundle has certainly done his research, hasn't he? I get the feeling he knows stuff about everybody. Now, how about we continue this trial? The skylight was always shut. We weren't able to open it. Okay. The skylight was closed, is that correct? Why, of course, there's no doubt about it. That's what he's trying to say. Why can he not talk? See here, direct your attention toward the omnibus. Indeed, behold! Even now, is it not firmly shut? Well now. I'm sure if absolutely necessary, a body could have been dropped through. What? Simply look at how large that skylight is. No. Size has nothing to do with it. Ah yes, you tried to look at the big picture here. Oh, great. Once before I was riding that omnibus and, well, you see, I broke wind. Even I myself was surprised by it. Why are you admitting this all of a sudden? Hang on. See, at that time I tried to open the skylight. But I just couldn't get it open, so it stunk up so it stunk up the inside. I started blushing and broke out in a sweat, and I could feel everyone staring at me. And why are you confessing this again? Well, that is, in other words, that skylight can't be opened. I tried opening it from the inside. Whoa. What the hell was that? Oh no! Shit, I didn't question her. The skylight doesn't open. Like I said, in other words. Question, maybe. Can I question them regardless? Oh, I can. No, that's not it. There's just no way to kick the victim down there. Down from there. I never said anyone had to have been kicked down. Anyway, let me fill you in on the bigger picture here. Right, I need to... Statement 4. This statement's great. Well, you see, I broke wind. It's just such an... not absurd, it's such a random thing to say. I'm just fast forwarding. I broke wind. I must admit, I was surprised by it too. I don't want to keep... Yeah, I don't want to keep skipping, otherwise I'll get by it again. There we go. Oh! She looks completely different. Question! Alright, what does she have to say? Gina, tell us. Excuse me, Miss Lestrade. Miss Lestrade. Okay. It does open. Hmm? You're talking about that skylight, right? Oh god. What the fuck? The thing opens just fine. It doesn't seem like you're using that weapon of